there. Welcome back to Movie Review Mom. And if this is the very first time you've joined my YouTube channel, yay, you found me. Now, I don't normally look like this, but I thought I'd put on sort of a little avatar because today the movie I'm reviewing is called We Met in Virtual Reality. This documentary film about virtual reality was released last January 21st, 2022. This very creative documentary film is about virtual reality and will be available on July 27th on HBO Max. The movie is rated PG-13 maybe. It doesn't have a PG rate. It doesn't have a rating at all because it's a documentary, but I'll give you some tips for parents here in just a minute. It's an hour and 31 minutes and my movie review mom grade is a B+. So keep watching and let me explain why. I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, and talk about tips for parents and themes worth talking about and that kind of stuff. All right. So first, in a nutshell, filmed entirely inside the world of VR, this unique documentary captures the excitement and surprising intimacy of a growing cultural movement, demonstrating the power of online connection in an isolated world. The film was written and directed by 22-year-old Joe Hunting. Congratulations to him. The film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival and now is going to be available for everybody to watch. On a personal note, I was really excited to watch this movie to learn a little bit more about virtual reality. One of my sons is a 3D computer animation artist for a very popular video game company. And so he's also very interested in VR. Every time he comes to visit us, he'll bring all of his VR equipment, which is very expensive, I might add, so that we can play his fun games. And it's so much fun. But I've just done the games, not the VR chat. I've even walked through the streets of various cities around the world in virtual reality. It is just mind-blowing how detailed the technology has gotten. So he's currently designing some avatars that will soon be for sale in virtual reality stores. He is extremely talented and has put in a ton of time creating these really awesome characters, these avatars. So I know he's going to do really well and it'll be a lucrative side hustle for him. I'll let you know as soon as they're available in stores, virtual stores, if you're interested. So when it comes to hanging out in VR chat rooms, I've never done that, as I said. So I was really curious to see what it was like and what kind of people go there and hang out. This interesting documentary allows you to experience that environment, like if you're a noob like me and have never done that, but more importantly, understand why it is so appealing to thousands of players around the world. So the list of things that I liked about this is very long. First of all, how awesome is it that someone can create a movie in their bedroom by filming clips of virtual reality encounters? That's amazing. And so again, kudos to the director and the writer. The scenes take us to many different kinds of locations in virtual reality. We get to ride in a bumpy car on a road, look out over beautiful landscapes, feel the vibes in a dance club, learn skills in various classes like sign language and belly dancing, and even be there when a guy proposes to a girl. We get to attend a wedding and so much more. There are some very touching moments of honest communication and genuine support as people go through some of life's big experiences in the real world, but they're there to support each other in the virtual world. And that's really cool. You really get a sense that people are truly making friends all over the world and meeting people that they never would have had the opportunity to get to know in any other way because of the distance. So I really love that. You really are immersed and you kind of feel like you're hanging out in the rooms with all of these people. So there were only a few things that I didn't like or thought maybe could have been done better. For example, in terms of classic storytelling, the movie doesn't follow the successful pattern at all. It still works. I mean, it's sort of random scenes that are leading up to a bigger moment, but I don't know that you could say that it follows the classic storytelling. That's all. It might have been nice to explain to noobs like me how the virtual reality chat rooms actually work at the beginning of the movie. The first few scenes can just be a bit jarring and confusing for viewers who have never been in VR, because you're just all of a sudden in these VR rooms and people are talking and they're wearing all these funny avatar costumes. And, so if somebody doesn't know what that's like, it just would have been nice to get a little education maybe at the beginning. I don't know. I also wanted to hear more about the first time that the featured couple got to meet each other in real life. For example, did they physically look like they had imagined each other would look? I wanted to know more about it. Obviously, they were in love, so they had to have been happy with what they saw. And it's fun to see how they met in virtual reality. Then they, one of them flew to the city, the country where the other person was living. They spent some time together and then came back, hung out again in virtual reality, and just to see how different their relationship had changed. All we see is that they still very much care for each other and want to try to create a life in real life with each other. But anyway, I just would have loved to have heard more about that. And then sometimes the technology is a little bit glitchy, and I'm sure it will just continue to improve every year as technology improves. And I wasn't sure, for example, in some rooms where people's characters looked a little different, if that was because of a glitch, or, did they change how they wanted their avatar to look in that particular room? I don't know. There were just a lot of unanswered questions, but overall, I really enjoyed just seeing what it was all about. So let me give you some tips for parents. There are a lot of female characters in very sexy clothing, if they're wearing clothing hardly at all, with tons of skin and cleavage shown. So just a heads up on that. And there's talk of gender identity, and that's part of the conversations that some of these people have, is that they feel welcome and accepted. And of course, people are showing up as giraffes and aliens and, all kinds of creatures. And everybody's totally fine with that. There's very much a very tolerant attitude in the VR chat. And I thought that that was a great quality for that world, where they really can come and be anything they want to be, especially if it's something that they're not accepted for in the real world. There is some talk of suicide and depression and death, and there's virtual kissing. Some of the themes that are illustrated well are belonging, connection, romance, sign language, community, self-confidence, depression, suicide, as I mentioned, disabilities, gender, and trauma. And it seems that there's so little judging going on that people are able to find healing and acceptance in the VR world. And so I think that that's a really valuable thing, especially in this world. Now, from what I could tell, it generally attracts a younger crowd, millennials and Gen Z, Generation Y and the boomers. I didn't hear any of those older voices in the rooms, but I think especially after COVID, or even during COVID, it just provided a place where people could be with other people in a safe space, while we were in the thick of the whole pandemic. And actually, I just got off of a Zoom family chat with all of my kids, that my son and his girlfriend, who both are these computer animation artists, and they both have COVID. And so COVID is absolutely still happening, unfortunately. And we're seeing a surge in America. Like, I know a ton of people who have COVID all of a sudden. Anyway, let me give you some recommendations for some other films that I think you might really like. If you enjoy this one, and vice versa. If you like those movies, I think you might enjoy this VR We Met in Virtual Reality movie. So the first one is called Free Guy. So in the movie Free Guy, it merges this animation with real world actors, and it's super fun. And I actually saw that with my son, the video game animator, and his girlfriend watched this Free Guy with me and my husband at the movie theater, and they loved it. They said that is so spot on to what the video game industry is all about. And then just about virtual reality and animation, I highly recommend that you watch the movie The Mitchells versus the Machines. It is so cute, so well done. I thought for sure it was going to win all kinds of Academy Awards this last year. It didn't, but it's still an excellent movie. It did get some buzz and some other awards of various things. But anyway, that's it for my review. I hope that if you watch this movie that you enjoy it and learn like I did what this whole virtual reality world is all about. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for all of your support. I hope that you feel a sense of community here at Movie Review Mom. Comment down below. I love it when you guys start interacting with each other as well. Thank you so much. Give it a thumbs up. Tell all your friends to come on over, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.